Hello students. So today we'll see unit third, the topic name as suspensions and brakes. So today we'll see about the suspension. For that I want to share my screen. So our first slide is related to function suspension system. So if we see this diagram, here all the components which are related to suspensions are shown. So dual control arm suspension system is there. Then MacPherson strut system is available. If we see the functions, it supports the weight, it provides a smooth ride, allowed the rapid cornering without extreme roll body, keeps tires in firm contact with the road, prevents excessive body squat, prevents excessive body dive, allows front wheels to turn side to side for steering, works with the steering system to keep the wheels in correct alignment. These are the functions of suspension system. So all the components are attached with this system. So the weight is attached to this suspension system. It provides the smooth ride, means the vibrations are less in this case, and smooth ride is the result if we reduce the vibrations. Then keeps tires in firm contact with the road, means the slipping or such type of problem is avoided in this situation. So all these are the functions related to this suspension system. If we see the types of suspension system, basically two different types are available. It is rigid suspension system and independent suspension system. If we see the types of suspension system, under that non-independent or rigid suspension has both the right and left wheel attached to the same solid axle. When one wheel hits a bump in the road, its upward movement causes a slight tilt of the other wheel, like in this diagram. And in case of independent suspension, it allows the one wheel to move up and down with minimal effect to the other. So if we observe the upper diagram and lower diagram, so two different diagrams are available in each case. So left side diagram is if the road conditions are good, and right side condition is if the bump is present in the road. So that complete vehicle is turned. And in case of independent suspension, only one wheel moves towards upward direction. If we see the diagram, so same explanation is available. Other wheel not affected, but will push up by bump. This is independent situation. And in case of non-independent situation, bump in road, the tire moves or that wheel moves in upward direction. Other wheel becomes tilted. Then if we see the component, so upper control arm is present, then shock absorber is present, coil spring is present, stabilizer is available, boil joints are available. These are the component. In case of this second diagram, this is a rear shackle, then lip spring, front hanger, and shock absorber. These are the assembly in case of the suspension system. Coil spring. Coil spring is the most common type of spring found on modern vehicles. Lip springs are now limited to the rear of some cars. If we see the types of springs, so different types of springs are available, like coil spring is available, like in figure A. This is called as coil spring. So coils are arranged parallel to each other, and this is called as coil spring. Leaf spring, if we see the diagram number B, this leaf spring is currently available in case of trucks. So lot of these horizontal plates are arranged on each other, and it makes one stack, and by using U-bolt joint the stacks gets connected, and this is mounted on the chassis frame. So this slip spring absorbs the vibrations coming on the vehicle. Then C is air spring. In case of air spring, air is the medium which is used for suspension. And next is torsion bar. Torsion bar is available on the vehicle for the stability purpose. Suspension systems, basic parts, control arm. If we see the control arm movable, it is the movable lever that fastens the steering knuckle to the vehicle's body or frame. Then if we see the steering knuckle provides a spindle or bearing supports for the wheel, hub, bearing, and wheel assembly. If we see the types of independent system, in independent system, it is again classified into McPherson strut type and wishbone type of system. If we see wishbone type of system, the suspension must be designed in such a way as to keep the wheel upright for maximum tire control, that is vehicle control, and the minimum tire wear. The upper wishbone is short and the lower wishbone is long. Both wishbone pivot points and length are calculated to provide the best operating angle for a given suspension movement. If we see the advantages and disadvantages of wishbone type independent system, advantages becomes it ride quality is good, and improve the steering prescience since the wheel movement are not linked. Ground clearance increases. These are the advantages. If we see the disadvantage, initial cost is more, maintenance cost is more. It requires frequent wheel alignment, otherwise increase the tire wear. Applications, SUV and cars. McPherson strut system. This is a very popular and efficient form of suspension. It has one control arm and a strut assembly. A coil spring and shock absorber will normally form parts of the strut assembly. If we see this diagram, this is strut assembly. Coil springs may be mounted on the control arm instead of being around the strut. On this type, shock absorber connects to the knuckle to the frame. This type of suspension strut is often also used on rear suspension systems. If you observe this diagram, this is called as frame, this is shock absorber, this is knuckle, this is control arm and coil springs. Then next is front suspension, that is McPherson's strut system. This is the CAD model and this is the both actually this is the CAD model and this is the actual view. In case of McPherson system, basic McPherson strut design, shock absorber and spring is mounted. Then steering link is mounted here. Then car frame is available. Lower control arm is available. McPherson strut suspension in this type, if we observe the diagram here, anti-roll bar is shown. This is called as anti-roll bar. Then this is cradle. This is the arm control or control arm. This is the frame. Then strut is available. The top of the strut is bolted to a reinforced section of the frame structure. The lower end of the strut is attached to steering knuckle, and the lower end attached to a steering knuckle. The control arm is also attached to the steering knuckle. The control arm are mounted on a cradle section of the frame. And anti-roll bar links the two control arms together to reduce the sway, that is body roll. Anti-roll brake bar is provided to avoid the rolling. If we see the advantages and disadvantages of MacPherson strut suspension, advantages are light in weight, then camber does not change due to up and movement of wheels, maximum engine compartment available, maintenance cost is less, initial cost is less, ride comfort is more, it improves the road safety. If we see the disadvantages, not suitable for heavy motor vehicles, load carrying capacity is less. These are the disadvantages, and application becomes cars. If we see solid rear axle suspension, this type of rear suspension is typical for rear wheel drive vehicle. The axle is inside a solid housing. The shock absorber are mounted between the solid axle and the frame. The springs are arranged between the axle housing and the frame of the vehicle. Trailing arms or links hold the rear axle in position. A stabilizer bar and track bar are included to add vehicle stability. If we observe the diagram, this is called a shock absorber. This is coil spring, is stabilizer bar, axle housing, and trailing arm. If we see the next, that is independent suspension system. So basic parts, that is ball joints, then swivel joints that allow control arm and steering knuckle to move up and down and side to side. Springs, it supports the weight of the vehicle, permits the control arm and wheel to move up and down. These are the basic parts as shown in figure. If we observe the next, that is shock absorber or dampeners. It keeps the suspension from continuing to bounce after spring compression and extension. Control arm bushing. It sleeves that allows the control arm to swing up and down on the frame. Control arm bushing, sleeves that allows the control arm to swing up and down on the frame. If we see the coil springs, this is the actual view of coil springs. And leaf spring, this is called as leaf spring, like this. Air springs, this is the diagram for air springs. This is layout of air suspension system. So if we see here, this is air spring and this is front side. This is again air spring. So all this is related to front side. Then leveling wall is available. It is related to lift control wall. Then relief wall is attached to this lift control wall. Air accumulator is present. Then compressor is arranged. Then air filter, air from atmosphere. These are the different situations in which that air suspension system is available. Schematic view of air suspension system. So this is the location of air below, in heavy motor vehicles. So basically these diagrams are related to below. If we see advantages and disadvantages of air suspension, in case of advantages, variable space for wheel deflection is put for optimum use for automatic height control. Headlight alignment does not vary due to different loading conditions, and it improves the ride comfort, reduce the noise in suspension system. If we see the disadvantages, then higher initial cost, then occupies more space, maintenance cost is more due to lack of friction dampings. Due to lack of frictional damping is necessary. And applications becomes Volvo bus. If we see the Volvo bus, air suspension is very good, okay, as compared to the different vehicles. If we see the example of torsion bar, this is the actual view of torsional bar. It is called as torsional bar. The bar registers twisting action and acts like a conventional spring. It is called as torsion bar. The bar registers twisting action and acts like a conventional spring. If we observe here again, torsion bar is available. Advantages and disadvantages, if we see for torsional bar, advantage light in weight, less space occupies, its maintenance cost is less, its initial cost is less. Applications, SVT, Tata Safari, Tempo, Taxi, etc. Disadvantages. So it does not take accelerate and braking thrust, so required additional linkages due to lack of friction damping is necessary due to road shocks. Shock absorbers are also there, limiting the spring compression extension movements to smooth the vehicle's ride. Then without the shock absorbers, the vehicle would continue to bounce up and down long after striking deep or hump in the road. This is the coil spring. See here, these are the coils. This is the leaf spring assembly. Air springs is shock absorber. If we see the important components of shock absorber, that is compression and extension, piston rod is available and reservoir is available. Restriction ports, piston, compression head of orifice in compression head. These are the components for compression and extension. Piston rod seal, inner cylinder, restriction ports, extension of orifice. Sway bar or stabilizer bar is also available for stabilizing that vehicle. And this is the diagram of sway bar. It used to keep the body from leaning excessive in sharp turns, fast turn to lower control arms, that is rubber bushings are used. During cornering, centrifugal force makes the outside of body drop and inside raises the bar's resistance to twisting motion, limits the body lean in corners. So in this way, today we finish our lecture. So thank you for that. And now I'll stop this lecture sharing.